So welcome everyone to our cost optimization expert session with AllCloud and Spot.io. And we are talking today about scaling your AWS environment properly and reducing cloud costs. So what we're going to be talking about today, slide please, is a few things really interesting. We're going to talk about how to optimize cloud costs and scale AWS environments. So scaling up, scaling down, you really want to make sure that you're doing this properly and not, you want to ensure that you're not having any undesirable outcomes. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're also going to be talking about strategies and actionable insight to help your business become financially agile. So let's look at the agenda really quickly. Slide, please. Thank you. So my name is Talia Schmidt. I head up marketing for AllCloud in EMEA. And today we are going to have two experts in this field of cost optimization in the cloud talking about this. The first is Lisa Kavin from AllCloud. She is the Cloud FinOps team leader here at AllCloud, and she will talk about AllCloud's cost optimization program. And then followed by Tomer Freinder, VP of Sales EMEA and APAC for Spot.io, and he will talk about from visibility to actionability. And then we're going to have some time for Q&A. If you do have questions while they're going through the session, so just chat to us in the Q&A section of this webinar, and we'll make sure to get to those at the end. I'm going to give a very brief overview of AllCloud, or present our panelists first. Like I said, Lisa is a Cloud FinOps team leader at AllCloud and has a lot of experience working with cost optimization programs. And then Tomer is the VP of Sales for EMEA and APAC for Spot.io. So slide, please. All right. So no, you went up, Lisa. Go down. Yes. So who is AllCloud? Very brief overview. So AllCloud is a cloud service provider. We have 7 global operating centers around the world, in Europe, in Berlin and in Munich. In the Middle East, we are based out of Rosh Hashanah, Israel, and we have locations in North America as well, and that's New York, San Francisco, and Toronto. AllCloud is a premier AWS partner and is recognized for different competencies across the programs. I am going to turn it over to Lisa now, and she'll go through the AllCloud cost optimization program, talk a little bit about how to optimize cloud costs, how to take action to ensure savings, and then she'll also talk a little bit about the relationship between AllCloud and Spot and what that can bring to the table as well. So take it away, Lisa.
Hi everyone, I'm Lisa. I'll talk today about AllCloud's cost optimization program. Now each of our FinOps customers has a dedicated cloud financial analyst that works with them on a regular basis in order to make sure that their AWS costs are always optimized. Our goal is not just to help our customers to reach a one-time savings, but to create with our customers an ongoing cost optimization program. Now, regarding the cost optimization framework, some customers will want a quarterly cost optimization sessions, while other customers would want a weekly session. We will do whatever our customers want. So the FinOps team has 2 types of customers. We have the reseller customers. The reseller customers link their AWS accounts to AllCloud's consolidated billing in order to pay for their AWS usage by invoices. So instead of paying directly to AWS by credit card, AllCloud sends them once a month an invoice for their AWS usage. Now, the benefit of being a reseller customer is that AllCloud provides Cloud Health, which is a cost optimization platform, and Cloud Financial Analyst service free of charge. We are the financial analyst, by the way. Now, the second type of customers are the FinOps as a service customers. Those customers will get Cloud Financial Analyst services and Cloud Health if needed, based on their agreement with AllCloud. Okay, so now I'll explain a bit about our Cloud Financial Analyst work. So as I've mentioned before, our customers get Cloud Health, which is a very user-friendly cost optimization tool, free of charge. And our job is to train them on how to use it. For most of our customers, we use Cloud Health in order to get cost optimization analysis and recommendations, and our customers can do so by themselves once they learn how to use the platform. So here I'll show you an example to a few cost optimization reports that we send to our customers. In this case, I sent to my customer a report that shows him all his provision IOPS that is currently not in use. Now, when it comes to provision IOPS, you pay for the provision IOPS amount that you've configured and not for your actual usage. So we help our customers to review all the provision IOPS that are not in use. And that, by the way, helps them save a lot of money. In this case, you can see an example of RDS reservation analysis that I've created to my customer. In RDS, you have the option to commit on using certain instances for the next year or 3 and get a discount that can reach up to 45%. We help our customers with the process. We recommend on which instances are stable on their environment and may be good candidates for reservations. We show our customers how much money they would save by doing the reservations, and we make the reserved instance purchase with our customers if needed. So actually in this screenshot, you can see an example for RI analysis that I sent to my customer. Here in the bottom line, you can see how much money my customer will save if he'll purchase the reservation in no upfront, partial upfront, or all upfront. These are the yearly savings, and these are the monthly savings. Now, for those of you who do not know, no upfront means that he'll buy the instances with no commitment, okay? He'll just get the yearly discount for the instances that he bought, and he won't need to invest any money in advance. All upfront means that he'll pay for all the instances in advance, and then in the following year, you wouldn't need to pay anything. And partial upfront means that half of the amount he will invest in advance, and the other half he will pay on a regular basis, okay, each month. Okay, so in this slide, you can see a saving plan analysis that I've prepared for my customer. Now, when it comes to EC2 compute, which is usually the biggest cost in most of the environments, you have a few payment options. The first one is on demand. That's the default payment option and the most expensive one. Now, if you didn't make any changes, you'll pay on demand, okay? As I've said, that's the default. Now, the second one is reservations. So like I've mentioned in RDS, in EC2 as well, you can commit on using certain instances in your environment in the next year or 3 and get up to 45% discount. The third one that I would like to focus on in this case is the EC2 saving plans. Now, when it comes to saving plans, you also make a 1 or 3 year commitment, but in this case, you commit only for the hourly amount that you are willing to spend on EC2. Now, you have 2 saving plan options. The first one is called EC2 Instant Saving Plan. In this case, you will need to commit for an hourly amount that you are willing to spend on in a certain region and instance family. For example, you will commit to spend $2 an hour for a T3 family in Ireland. Okay, so you will need to commit for a certain hourly amount in a certain region and instance family. You will still need to choose the instance family and the region. The second saving plan is a compute saving plan. When it comes to compute saving plans, you just invest an hourly amount and the discount will be spread across all instances. The big benefit of this program is that it allows you to save money without making sure that the instances are stable. The disadvantage of this discount is that compute saving plan, the discount will be about 10% lower in comparison to EC2 instance saving plan. So in this screenshot, you can see an example of the savings plan analysis that I sent to my customer. I told him how many instances I recommend him to buy and in which regions and which operating system and which instance type he is using. In this case, I recommended him to reserve it in EC2 instance saving plan and to buy it through partial upfront. And here in this line, you can see the hourly commitment that he'll need to update in AWS in case he would like to make the purchase. And this is something that we're really helping our customers to do. Now, the third payment option in AWS is Spot. Now, by using Spot, you will save way more money than you can possibly save in any other way. And Tomer from Spot.io, he's also here on the call and he'll provide more explanation about it. Tomer?
Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you, Tomer.
Okay, sorry for the handover. I prepared today's spoon, but thanks, Lisa. And hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here with our amazing partner, AllCloud. It's great, hoping to complete and continue the great collaboration that we see, helping our customers to reach their goal and to optimize cost. We really look at the main goal here, and that's why we use the term cost optimization, because I think that the idea is to use more and to increase the cloud consumption, but use more, acquire more services, and pay less as you grow. And hopefully we wish everyone significant growth and a healthy journey in the way you manage your cloud consumption. So what I'm going to cover is just to take you through our main offering and the story we tell, which is about visibility to actionability and how do we achieve it. So the way Spot look at the business is living through CloudOps. And when we look at CloudOps, this is kind of an area that is developed. I saw many attendees and a lot of participants that are here with us that have the title of DevOps, DevSecOps, FinOps people, and Head of CloudOps, which is usually controlling these three units. And I think that FinOps is in the center because it all starts with a good cost management and continuous cloud infrastructure and optimization, and that's our main area of focus. The way we look at that, and why am I telling about DevOps and FinOps, everyone here is supporting through their cloud journey and their day-to-day and the agile methods of running your R&D and your core business. We talk a lot about CI/CD, but what about CO? So CI/CD is a part of the DevOps world, and if we look at the DevOps world, that's their main area, right? They want to provide a continuous integration, continuous delivery. Usually the DevOps customers are actually the developers. And the way we look at the business is in a matter of continuing or completing this stack of CI/CD towards CO, which is continuous optimization, and that's a combination of visibility, analytics, and automation. And I'm going to focus on automation. Before we start, just what is the simple customer journey that we provide to our customers? So first, it all starts with analysis. We used to say in the past, here is the number of instances you're running. Here is the savings we can do by choosing a better purchase option. But as we move forward and as we see the cloud progress, we realize that it all starts with the data analysis. So Lisa presented Cloud Health, which is a great tool to get started and to get good recommendations of where you see the waste and how you can get better. But the same goes for us. We start with the analysis, whether if it's a Cloud Health analysis, whether if it's FinOps as a service, or just looking very simply on through our cloud analyzer that helps you to get the initial data about your cloud consumption. That's how you connect the account. We auto-discover the specific workloads and use cases in which we see that we can help you with. And the next step would be to automate and accelerate. We always say start small but move fast, because it's important to get savings ASAP, especially nowadays. So that's the journey. Just a little bit about us, so hear it from our customers. If you Google and just say Spot, hear it from our customers, you'll get 2 minutes video on YouTube, so you can watch customers' evidence and a lot of other case studies on our website. But the bottom line is that everyone had the same problem they had to solve. They had waste, they lost control. Cloud economics is complicated, and we help simplifying it by automating the analysis layer, and that's why we say visibility to actionability, CI, CD, CO. That's the story. Now, just as Lisa covered that, so this is how AWS even putting that as in the front. I took this slide from a cost optimization webinar provided by AWS Experts, and I really, I can tell you after 3 years working for Spot and collaborating with AllCloud, I think that we have an amazing partner here that really looks at his customers and aim for the best way to consume cloud, in the most efficient and optimized way. I think in every session what I see is use more, pay less as you grow. And companies like us and partner like AllCloud help our customers to stick to this journey and to actually turn this message into call to action. So we have the on-demand, we have reserved instances. The biggest difference between reserved instances and savings plan is around the commitment and flexibility. A big portion, and I'm going to cover that later, of the RIs is actually sellable, so it leaves you with some more flexibility. In some of the cases, savings plan gets you the better discount. The good way to look at that is how do I create the most smart blend that will support my technical needs, my business needs, and all the people that are actually consuming cloud infrastructure. So this is how I think that modern companies, cloud native companies, the ones that are actually optimized, this is where they get. They have a very small amount of on-demand usage, and they have a significant portion of Spot instances. And why Spot instances? First, it is the biggest discount. It's the cheapest way to consume cloud infrastructure. And second, I think that the nature of the Spot instances is that there's no commitment, just like on demand. There is no commitment. It is based on usage. So if you consume and you have spikes, you have bursting workloads, you want to scale with Spot, but there's no commitment, there's no upfront payment. You get what you need at a specific point. And I even saw a slide by AWS again, specifically for Singapore region, that in the last couple of months there were only just a 5% of interruption rate. And what is interruption? Spot instance, as you know, the nature of spot instance is to be interrupted. So it is taken within a 2-minute notification. There's a lot of overhead in order to maintain it and to manage that. And that's where we help our customers to do that. Now, at the same time, I really think that, and I like this, the way it's distinguished on this slide, is that Spot would be good for flexible, stateless workloads, while reserved instances and savings plan will help you to get through a committed and steady state usage. For example, you wouldn't want to run a single point of failure on Spot. And at the same time, you wouldn't want to run a testing environment that might run just 8 hours a day and to buy a specific dedicated machine for that, although it's a steady state usage. So there's a lot to consider, and the size of what I did, that's how we take that into consideration. And what does good look like? Here you can see a screenshot from our platform. That's Cloud Analyzer. If we look at what we have and what AllCloud has to offer, with the great partnership with CloudHealth, is to see first the initial analysis. And we are focused here only on the way you are consuming your infrastructure. What you see here is your score efficiency and cost efficiency over time in multi-cloud providers. The idea is to go to increase the efficiency as you move forward, and you see that that's a continuous plan. Right here, what we see is January till September, and that's the blend, the life cycle breakdown of what this customer is running. This customer is running as the majority, more than 50% is running on Spot, then on reservations that can be savings plan or reserved instances, and the on-demand workloads. And then you can also see the estimated savings that they can still achieve per cloud provider. So this is a picture that, like in Azure, you can save on the specific account a lot more. And that's just an initial view. I think that what good looks like, it has to go above the 80 and 90%. However, in some cases, it really depends on where your organization is at, and considering architectural scope and the way your application is built, the way your core business is delivered to your customers, there are lots of things to consider. And I try to concise it and into 4 points. Your cloud run right, and I think that cloud operations, the goal of cloud ops within an organization is really to educate the entire organization for a healthy cloud economics approach. And as we said in the beginning, it goes with analysis and it goes through automation and acceleration. But 4 main points that I wanted to share from my experience and the way we work with our customers. First, bursting workloads, you want to aim for 100% Spot. And I think that many organizations nowadays just put that as a KPI to use Spot as much as possible because it avoids lockdowns, it is the cheapest way to run your workloads, and there are so many use cases that can be supported and save your organizations a lot of money. And as a result of that, lead your organization to architect for Spot. That's an ongoing discussion. There's still, although there's an amazing increase in the great Spot adoption around the world, there's still a lot of fear, a lot of hesitation before people are making this transition, and we are here to help you to drive this discussion. The third thing is literally ask your DevOps, why not Spot and why not now? And you will get a lot of answers, because as we said in the beginning, DevOps world is focused on CI/CD. They are not focused on continuous optimization and cloud consumption. This is something that up to the FinOps, to the head of cloud operations, to a CTO that is running the budget, everyone that cares. But the DevOps core business is to provide a flawless and smooth flow to its developers, right? It's not as big deal, and sometimes it's lack of awareness or just laziness for not trying to push for making the required changes so they can run more with Spot. So don't be afraid of asking the question, why not Spot and why not now? Because every day you are not doing it and it's possible, you are losing a lot of money. Or let's say you are not saving a lot of money, which is that can be invested in different projects. And the last thing, do not accept on-demand usage. The most successful organizations that I saw are the ones that define a good coverage that by reservations and an increase in the Spot usage, and they actually put a KPI that says no more than 5 or 10% of on-demand usage. And why do we want to keep this 5 or 10% on-demand usage? Because that's where new workloads start running. You're still not aware of the way you can optimize. You want to see that, you want to analyze that quickly, understand what can be done, and then make a decision. It can run on Spot, or I would need to buy a reservation. I'm not going to cover all of the products, but just for you to be aware, we at Spot, we divide our worlds to FinOps, DevOps, and SecOps that is coming on our roadmap. Under the DevOps sector, we focus on 3 main products, Elastic Ocean and Managed Instance that is I'm not going to cover today, but Managed Instance is a product that is helping your dev teams to run stateful applications on Spot. As we said before, Spot nature is to support stateless workloads, but you can also run stateful workloads on Spot. And in the FinOps world, we have Cloud Analyzer and Eco to help our customers to implement implement their cost optimization plan without any technical implementation. And the rule of thumb, and I'm going to deep dive to our set of products, the rule of thumb that I see is automate your selection in real time and based on historical data. And why am I saying that? Here's a nice slide that is talking about elasticity and right sizing. You can see in this slide, the same workload is running over a different diversification, different instance types. If your application can run on most smaller instances, it will be significantly cheaper than running your workloads on bigger instances. And that leads me to the next point that I'm going to cover, is that you want to right size first and reserve later. By right sizing and automate your selection of the right instance type and size, and checking the price and checking the availability in the market, it is really important to make sure you have a good automation in place that will take these decisions in real time for you. And that's how we do that with Elastic Group. Elastic Group is our flagship product, and we say prediction is the key. What you see here is a metric of the instance types around different availability zones, and as you can see here, there's a score. This score, the spot market scoring, is something that is being updated constantly by our machine learning algorithm, and based on that attrition, we're making decisions in real time of how to blend, how to diversify your cluster, and how to make sure that you are running and you're on Spot while ensuring SLA. And that's a very important thing to be aware of. We offer our customers that are working with us, we offer them an SLA that is granted for running on Spot. If there's no Spot, there's always another spot market we can try. There's a different instance size or instance type. And if there's no Spot at all, then you always want to fall back to on-demand. If you fall back to on-demand, when are you going back to Spot? It's a dynamic workload, and you need someone or something, rather a machine is always better than a person, to do these decisions in real time for you. Another thing to be aware of, okay, is how do I, so we talked about the fact that we need to blend our the way we purchase our infrastructure by reserve instances and savings plan and spot and on demand. But in real time, you also want to make sure that there is no waste. So when there are spikes, when there are extra workloads that require instances, you always want to make sure that your reservations are being utilized before you even scale with Spot. Otherwise, you'll end your journey with, hey, I just added more Spot instances, but I didn't save any money because I had vacant RIs that I could have used. So that's another thing that has to be taken into consideration, and it's really hard to manage that when you're running big organizations and even small. The next product that we have is Ocean. And Ocean is focused on containers, zero infrastructure management, that's how we say. I'll be very short. It's all about container-driven autoscaling. The beauty about containerization and this technology and microservices is the fact that you can be more flexible in the way you manage your infrastructure and to simplify the operations. What we see here is how we help with the control plane. We always say, bring your control plane and we'll help you implement that with Ocean. Worker nodes for Kubernetes, for ECS can run on Spot. That's probably the best use case for Spot nowadays, and that's where we see the biggest increase. And I talked before about the fact that you need to architect for Spot, and that's the way to support it. As I said before, right size first, then reserve. And here's just a simple view of what we do. What you see here in real time are the instances and the CPU allocation and the memory allocation, how many pods, how many containers are running on each and every single instance, and how do we maximize the resource utilization. It's really important to make sure that every pod or every container will have the right sizing in real time, not just in reservations, but also for dynamic workloads, for bursting workloads. A pod has to be scheduled. We'll make sure to match the right instance type so there is no waste, and so that we can bin pack your instances in a proper way to avoid waste. And another layer you need to think of, because it's all about cost optimization and it's an ongoing journey, look at the CostRobic. We have a beautiful breakdown of every head deployment, namespace, every pod, and here's an example of what is the current utilization and what's actually recommended. If you'll be able to shrink your pod and just request less resources because you're asking for too much, then we'll be able to increase your savings and make sure that you have a proper bin packing in the way you run it. So right size first, reserve later, and that leads me to my last rule of thumb: diversify commitment. Once you realize that you know how to optimize the running workloads and then the dynamic workloads, now you want to diversify your commitments because you want to avoid lockdowns, you want to increase your flexibility as time goes by, and to always be aware of what's coming when you reserve, because you are making a decision to stick to a usage that may last for 1 year, 3 years, but technology is running fast. And as a FinOps, as a cloud operations manager, you need to be aware of your infrastructure and architecture of your core business, because maybe now your teams are not ready to run your application on Spot, but in a few months from now, considering there's a refactor project that is being run, you may be able to move that. And that creates a lot of opportunities. So just a broader view about our best practice recommendation. In the way you reserve, you need to really be able to look at the stack and think, I want to aim for 100% coverage, so there is no on-demand usage when I can't run my workloads on Spot, and then to take a portion of this coverage and make sure it is sellable. And when we say marketplace gold, think about Spot as a reservations broker. Especially now in the Corona, we see a lot of expansion for certain companies and a lot of contraction. That creates opportunities. Suddenly, a lot of companies need to get rid of their RIs, but if they bought them and it's unsellable, then they need to pay it until it dies. And the other option is to actually sell it to the marketplace to get money and get rid of that. You want to be able to leave some space for flexibility, to identify these gold deals, sell and buy, and you'll be able to reach more and more savings if you were working on that. So this stock and everything we talked about, work with your FinOps. AllCloud can help you with that. They have our tool, they have Cloud Health, and so many other options, and the mix of real experts that understand technology, understand projects, understand implementation, and also people that will take care of your financial cost, and the mix of all of that will be able to reach, will help you reach great results. So yeah, that's the right time with the right partner. And on a personal note, I want to end with this slide, and then we'll leave some room for question. I think that cost optimization is a project that we all need to manage. We all want to encourage the cloud consumption as cloud savvies, and we really see what cloud brings to the world with innovation, and that's not a cliche. It's actually what happens, and we want to help startups and enterprises to be able to run more projects on the cloud. And that's the famous triangle of project management. And I think it is a project management role. And there's a combination, like in any project you manage, of budget and cost, time, schedule, and the scope. So as for cost, my biggest tip is just invest resources and smart tools in order to see an immediate ROI. And you can see immediate ROI. There's not even a single customer that we didn't start a project with and he didn't see an immediate ROI. And it doesn't matter how, even if it's a small ROI, there's still return of investment. And it's very quick. The scope, as I said, start small but move fast. Start with small workloads, do the education, use AllCloud for enablement, help your teams to gain confidence, and then you'll be able to move fast. And remember my slide about the cost efficiency being increased over time. That's where we should aim. And as for time, this is the main objection. Right now, it is not a priority. We need to wait. Don't wait. And the end date of this project is never. You never finish that. It's not like I'm optimizing and then I'm done. It's an ongoing effort, an ongoing journey. You need to put the right governance and policies and notifications and trends, and to really encourage and initiate discussions around this subject. So the start date should be yesterday, because very quickly you can achieve cost optimization results, whether or not you need a technical implementation. And we have a lot of tools and a lot of ways to achieve that. So yeah, yesterday, and that's how I'm gonna end it. Just start our platform. You can get started for free, take it for a spin, use everything that you want. We are there to support you. And we have the amazing AllCloud team that can help you with the implementation and with the knowledge and make the right choices and really look at the entire landscape. The reason we like to, we are partnering with AllCloud is the fact that they really look at the entire business and they are aware of other cloud projects, because we are focused on cloud infrastructure, which is probably, it's around 60% out of your cloud spend usually, but there are many other areas that we can cover. Today we focused on cloud infrastructure and consumption optimization. I hope you find that useful. Let's leave some room for questions and see what we have.
Okay, so let's definitely move to questions. There are a lot of them, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read them in as they come through. And they're kind of mixed, so I'll just read them off one at a time, and whoever is relevant, like, you feel free to go ahead and take those. So the first question is from Jack. And Jack is asking, can the fee for Spot be paid by using the marketplace, in parentheses, so there isn't a need to actually pay Spot?
So, hi, Jack. So that's a question for Spot Instant. The answer is yes. We are available in the marketplace. You will be able to pay. You can pay us through the marketplace. In fact, we have a very strong partnership to push as many deals as possible through the marketplace, because to help our customers also to manage their entire vendors that are supporting their cloud consumption. So yes, we are live and it's available.
Okay, perfect. So let's move on to the next question. And the next question is, will AllCloud get access to my AWS account if I link him to her consolidated billing? So I guess that's a question for you, Lisa.
Yes, so our reseller customers link their AWS accounts to AllCloud's consolidated billing, and in that way, AllCloud pays on their behalf to AWS and sends them once a month an invoice. AllCloud will not get access to those accounts, okay? And we don't have a way to get access to the accounts, so nothing to worry about.
Okay, good. So next question, and this one is for you, Tomer. Would you elaborate on your SLA first when you use Spot?
Sure thing. So ideally, the SLA that we provide is based on consumption. If you think about it as I'm requesting 10 instances that will run, and we'll make sure that in any given moment there are 10 instances that are running based on your cluster policy and configuration. As I said, we have a couple of ways to do that. First is the way we distribute and how we manage spot interruptions, how we fall back to on-demand when there is no spot. That's how we are able to provide a SLA.
Okay, and then I think we have time for one last question. This is from Uriah. I hope I'm saying this right, and I'm not sure where this is heading, but Uriah is asking about optimization for Lambdas.
Okay, what is the question?
He's asking about optimization for Lambda.
Okay.
There's no more details, so I'm not really sure.
Okay, so currently in AWS, we have the option to buy saving plans for Lambda as well. Okay, we cannot tell if the saving plans will use Lambda or if they'll end up providing discounts to the EC2 instances, since it's basically both are for EC2. But yes, the answer is yes, we can do saving plans for Lambda, and that's a new option that AWS launched, I think about 2 months ago. So that's the answer from my side. Tomer, do you have something to add?
No, thanks.
Okay, cool. So thank you everyone that joined, and thank you Lisa and Tomer for walking us through that. If you have any further questions, then please reach out to either Lisa or Tomer. You can also reach out directly or to AllCloud or Spot. And there's going to be information coming out with the recording of this webinar, so that will be shortly in your inbox. And again, thank you for joining, and we hope to see you at our next event. Keep optimizing, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.